Alright, man, we back with another video. Today we're gonna be giving y'all the point guard tier list, man. I'm gonna be honest, we're gonna try to rank every single player. I didn't do this after the season, so we're gonna do this now before the season. We're gonna try to make sure that we get this out. We're gonna rank every single position. I'm gonna give y'all some team tier lists, ranking the offense, the defense. I'm gonna give y'all a finalized one. I'm gonna give y'all some reactions, but this is how we're gonna start it out. We're gonna give y'all the point guards. We're gonna do the shooting guards. We're gonna do the small forwards. We're gonna give you power forwards, the centers. So if y'all do want more, y'all know what to do. Drop the likes, subscribes, all that good stuff out the way. Let's hop into it. All right, hopping into it. I got about 70 point guards. It's every starter. Some of the better rotation guys, even some not so much. So let's get into the tiers. We got pretty much every single possible tier for an NBA player. Best in the world convo. All NBA top 15 player. If you don't know how All NBA works, 15 players make it for that season. Top 25, all-star, star role player, borderline star, high-level role player, solid rotation player, and bench. That means you are unplayable. Bench means you're just unplayable. So yeah. Let's get into it. We also do have rookies on here. Lebron Felon, however you say it. I liked him a lot in the draft. I had him really, really high on my board. I was doing a lot of mock drafts. Y'all loved him. Y'all watched him. A lot of y'all watched him. I don't know if y'all loved him, I'll be honest. But I was really high on him, and he fell to the 76ers. And the 76ers have had a very, very interesting offseason. If you just talk about the talent they picked up, ridiculous. Him, LeBron, JB, crazy. Like, you could argue that they got the best pick based off, like, relative to where they were picking in the draft. You could make that argument, in my opinion. But I'm going to say for now, the thing is, he's a great playmaker. He's a great on-ball offensive player. The thing is, I don't know how much of the ball he's going to have on a team with LeBron, Embiid, JB, and Maxey. You already got a guy like vids. I don't know how much they're going to be able to develop on this team. But they got their own problems when you think about how much of LeBron are they going to get in the regular season. Is Embiid going to stay healthy? I don't know. But here we are. So I'm going to say, for Phylon, I'm going to say for now, I'm going to say for probably more so on a solid rotation. Because they even picked up Simons. How much is he even going to play? So I'm going to say, yeah. Next, we have Darius Garland. Darius Garland, in my opinion, is easily just an all-star caliber guy. I really like Darius Garland. I like that trade a lot for the Clippers. The Clippers are under a very interesting situation right now in the trade. But that Cavs trade, that Pacers trade, masterpiece. To be able to move off James Harden and then to move off of Zubac and understand you need to move off him at the same time. Genius. And to be able to get Darius Garland back and then to be able to get that pick and some more first, fantastic. I can't lie, fantastic. But yeah, all-star caliber. Next we have Scottie Pippen Jr. Scottie Pippen Jr., in my opinion, probably more so rotation player. I'm going to try to rank these guys in order. I think Phylon should be better this year. But yeah, I don't think he's unplayable, but he's not a high-level role player either. I'm going to say solid rotation player. Next, we have Darius A-Cup. I don't know what to expect out of Darius A-Cup this year. I like Darius A-Cup in college. In the NBA game, I don't. Now, the thing is, Jalen Brunson winning the ring is going to cloud a lot of people's judgment of these undersized guards that can score. Not the greatest playmakers, not good defenders, The thing is that with A-Cup, I don't know if he's as good of a playmaker as I thought he was. I know he's a good scorer. He was very efficient in college, but was he just hot? So I don't know, man. A-Cup is very, very tough to rank in terms of expectations. I think Phylon is a much better NBA player, potentially, than A-Cup. A-Cup is really kind of aspiring to be in a Dame, Trae Young, but is he really as good as Dame as a scorer, Trae Young as a scorer and playmaker? I don't know. I do not know. And he's not going to be a role player. That's one thing I know for a fact. Because it's literally, this is it. He can be bench. He skips role player. Borderline star. All-star. He can't be anything in between. He can't. So I think he's going to really be a bad player. But I think he's going to get a lot of stats. I think he's going to get good stats. Is he going to be efficient? Is he going to be analytically positive? Probably not. Like, the analytic guy's gonna probably hate, bro. It's gonna kind of be like a Paolo type situation for them, but Paolo probably is a lot more talented than A-Cup. So I don't know. Then we have Kingston Flemings. I actually think Kingston Flemings is going to be a really, really good player, even if he doesn't get a lot of minutes based off what he can provide for the Hawks. I think the Hawks don't really have a lot of point guards. And I think he can be a good defender. He's very athletic. He can be a solid playmaker. I think he's going to be a high-level role player type player for the Hawks day one. I think that. I really do believe that. Next, we have Ja. I think Ja's going to be like a borderline star type guy. I think he's clearly over Acuff. I don't think he's all-star caliber. I'll be honest. Like, if you watch Ja this past year with the Grizzlies, he was bad. He was bad. He was genuinely, he was unplayable to the point that the volume he was getting, that may be Acuff. Acuff may be a guy that's getting a crazy volume, but he is probably unplayable. He shouldn't be getting that. But the thing is, if you're the Kings, you're letting him learn through that. It's just simple as. It's kind of like what the Hawks did with Trae Young. When it comes to Ja, the Trailblazers aren't doing that. I'm not gonna lie, they're not doing that. So I'm actually interested to see what's going on. I'm actually just putting him here out of respect for him because the talent is ridiculous. I just don't think he's nearly as athletic as he used to be. The IQ is actually abysmal. But could it be that he was taking all them threes, taking all these shots because he was trying to get out of Memphis? You know, he was one of the worst shooters we've seen. I'm not saying I'm saying we've seen last year. He was one of the worst shooters we've seen. So I'm actually interested to see what happens with Ja this year, honestly. Keontae George. I think Keontae George is a borderline star previous year. Do I think Keontae George next year will be that? Next to Darren Peterson, you know what I'm saying? Next to Lauri Markkanen. I'm thinking that these guys, you know, sometimes these, you know, second half of the season, they actually had a pretty solid team. And a couple of these years, the Jazz, they kind of start tanking. They clearly, visibly start tanking. They stop playing some of their better players. I don't know if they're doing that with Darren Peterson. I think Darren Peterson, Lauri Markkanen, and Jaren Jackson, that's a good little trifecta already. And this is a team that start really hot every year. So I don't know what that means for Keontae George. Could Keontae George be a borderline star where he's getting a lot of points? I think he could be a good scorer, not really a playmaker. And I think Darren Peterson can play off the ball. So it's not really that big a deal. But the thing is, Keontae George not really a playmaker. So I don't know. I'm going to probably say borderline star steal. But I'm going to say yeah. Then we have, I think this is Trey Jones. I'm gonna say solid rotation player. I think he's probably under Scottie Pippen Jr. Jamal Shead. I think Jamal Shead is a high level role player, solid rotation player, type player, really good defender, can knock down shots. That's about it. I'll probably say solid rotation because he's undersized. He's a good defender, but he's undersized. And this thing I love about Davion that he said after the season, he did not have a good year defensively. I think a lot of Heat fans are honestly wilding with Davion conversations right now. But I do think Davion been in the gym. I think he been in the gym. And I don't really care that he shot 40% for three. I think that's important. But the thing with Davion is his defense. He was not that good of a defender for his standards this past year. I think Jamal Shead was very good. But he is undersized. I think that's just a reality that he has to deal with. There's things that you have to do when you're undersized to get the most out of yourself. So, we'll see. I think solid rotation player. He is one of the better guard defenders, point guard defenders for sure, though. Emmanuel Quickly. This is tough. I think the contract is what sways people's minds when it comes to Quickly. I think that's what sways people's minds. Quickly can be a good defender. Quickly can be a good shooter. He can be efficient. He just isn't. He just isn't. So I think the Raptors fans actually probably prefer Shed. So I'll put Quickly solid rotation for now. But the money he's getting, he should at minimum be a high level role player. I just don't think that's the case. Next we have Drew Smith. I think Drew Smith and Jamal Shead is kind of relative defensively. I would probably say Drew Smith is better. I think the size, the ability to get around Drew Smith is pretty tough. The wingspan, his ability to take the ball in the lane, if you're playing on ball, just to create, he's just chaos. Drew Smith creates chaos. That's the best way to kind of describe him. He's one of the more underrated guard defenders in the league, in my opinion. Like, if I was talking about him and Davion, I think Drew Smith was clearly a better defender last year. Clearly. But that's just me. With that being said, though. He's still solid rotation. Is he actually over Jamal Shead day one? I'll probably put LeBron Fowler on here. I'll probably put Drew Smith here. Because I do think Drew Smith can actually knock down the ball. It's just you don't really want him to play make. You don't want him to be on the ball. Jamal Shead can probably play a little bit more on the ball than Drew Smith. But I'm going to be honest. You'd probably rather Scottie Barnes had the ball. if you're the Raptors. So I don't know. Bub Carrington, shout out to you, bro. One of the worst players in the league, easily. One of the worst players in the league, easily. Kyrie Irving didn't play last year, but we gonna rank him. I think Kyrie Irving. I'm gonna be honest. Look at that All-NBA team. Kyrie is top 25. I'm gonna keep it being. Hey man, you get past a couple players in that top 10. I'm gonna be honest. It's not looking good for the league, man. In my opinion, I don't think the level is that crazy to where Kyrie come back next year and he's probably still top 25. In my opinion, I think so. I wouldn't be surprised at all. That's my expectation right now. Probably All-Star is more realistic, but the guys that are in that conversation, I think Kyrie's just better, personally. But he is coming off a pretty significant injury. I will say that. So maybe I should put that into it, but I'm not. B-Pods, solid rotation. I don't think B-Pods is better than Quickly. I'm gonna keep it being. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I don't think he's a great defender. I think he's a good hustle player, though. I will say that. I think he's a good hustle player. I don't think he's the worst playmaker. He's extremely inconsistent as a scorer or anything scoring the ball in general. I think he's a good hustle player. That's about it. That's what I say. Ty Jerome, one or more of these past 2 seasons, Ty Jerome, analytics love him. He's ridiculously efficient. He was the most efficient guard in the league when he was with the Cavs. It's just what it was. Like, he was the most efficient guard. Now, when you put volume into it, it was by far Shai. But no volume. Ty Jerome was ridiculous the year prior on his efficiency. Last year with the Grizzlies, he was still efficient. So I don't think that was really fluky. He's just a very efficient player. Ty Jerome is a very interesting player. I guess because, bro, he's so efficient. You got to say high-level role player. It's just he missed a lot of time. I'll probably say high-level role player. He's just not the greatest defender. Trae Young. I think Trae Young is more borderline star at this point in his career. I trust Trae Young more than Ja, though. As a playmaker, yeah, for sure. He's one of the best playmakers alive. It's facts. Like, I think Ja's athleticism, his playmaking kind of dipped a little bit with that. I think Trae don't really depend on that. The only issue with Trae is that he's a volume player when it comes to scoring and playmaking. So it doesn't really make up for how terrible of a defender he is. So it's kind of that. Marcus Sasser, I think he got moved to another team. I don't remember what team it was. I'll be real. But Sasser, I actually like Sasser. Very talented. I'll probably put him right behind Scottie Pippen Jr. though. De'Aaron Fox, past season, probably borderline star. And that's kind of the problem with De'Aaron Fox. He's not playing nowhere to that contract, but I still believe he's a borderline star caliber player. He wasn't an all-star caliber player. He was a borderline star. I expect this next season him to be more so in that all-star caliber, but for right now, I think it's safer to say borderline star. Jalen Brunson, it's clear All-NBA. He's not best in the world conversation. It's clear All-NBA. If you want to say he's top 10, cool. I'm not fighting you on that. But I think that kind of just says more about the league, me personally. But the brother did just lead his team to a championship. So, again, credit to him. One of the craziest feats of all time to be at that size and be the best player on the championship team. So, yeah, credit to him. Bronny James. Bronny James is probably a solid rotation player. The idea of Bronny James is that he's a good defender that can knock down shots. Is that reality? I don't know. Fred VanVleet, very important player for this team. I would say high-level role player. Good defender. Knock down shot. Consistent score for what they need. Consistent enough score. Very important. Good leader. Very important for them. Reed Shepherd. I actually think Reed Shepherd is actually pretty good. It's just the fit on this team. I don't really. If he don't fit on this team, I don't know what team he fits on. This is a team that needs playmaking drastically. They need guard play drastically. He can't play on the ball, and he's a point guard, so he can't play on the ball. He's a good shooter. This team needs shooting drastically, so he has to play. I don't really fully know where to really rank him. He's an okay defender, but he's a clear liability on the Rockets because he's nowhere near the level of anybody else on the court 9 times out of 10, unless Sengun's on the court. But he's undersized. So it's like Sengun's at least big. He's undersized. So Reed Shepherd's a tough one to rank because he's a really good shooter. Right now, he doesn't do anything else consistently, though. That's kind of tough. I'll probably say Reed Shepherd's like here for now. Marcus Smart at top of high-level role player. You could even argue Marcus Smart last year for the Lakers was a star role player, but I think the Lakers were just in such dire need of a defender that Marcus Smart was just that important. But in the playoffs, he was a star role player. In the regular season, he was more of a high-level role player in my opinion, and I think that's a bigger sample size. But I do think in that Rockets series, you could debate he was the best player. In that Thunder series, you could debate he was the best player for the Lakers. You can make that case because how important he was defensively against Shai. Shai struggled heavily. They double teamed him. They showed a lot of looks, but he was still important. You got to give it to him. Jose Alvarado, hustle player. I would say bench, solid role player. I'd probably say at the back. Doesn't really do much but hustle. Stephon Castle, star role player. One of the best perimeter defenders in the world. It's not really debatable. When he's on, he can give you 30. He can give you triple doubles. I don't think he's the greatest scorer. I don't think he's the greatest playmaker. He's not really consistent offensively, but he's a clear elite perimeter defender. Not debatable. One of the best perimeter defenders in the league. Guard defenders in the league. The athleticism off the charts, but star role player. He's not a star. He's not an all-star caliber guy. He's a star role player, in my opinion. Bones. I think Bones should be high-level role player, but I'm gonna put Bones more so like here. I think Bones, he's kind of more like Quickly, but he's in a small role, so you don't really get the volume of Quickly. So I think in a role like this, he's fine. Scoot Henderson, but I also do think Bones is a guy that could do more. That's the thing. That's the thing with him and Quickly though. Scoot Henderson, I probably put Scoot here to be real. Jace Richardson, he didn't really do enough last year. I probably put Jace Richardson here. I don't know what to expect out of him. I'm gonna put him at the back, a solid rotation player for now. I don't know what to expect. He went to the Pistons. That team needs scoring, but I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll see. He definitely got flash to him. How consistent is he gonna be? They need consistent scoring, but they'll take the flashes for now. Probably. We'll take it. Luka. I don't think I need to explain this one too much. He's clearly in the best in the world conversation. Is he winning it? Probably not, but he's in the convo. And I will say, I'm seeing a lot of people say the Lakers aren't going to make the playoffs. If the Lakers make the playoffs, forget if they win 50 wins, and he's not in the MVP conversation. I'm not gonna lie, it's not unrealistic because you got to think about it. Jokic these last 2 years have been ridiculous. He's been ridiculous. Like what Jokic does from an efficiency standpoint with the triple double. It's unheard of. It's unseen, and he's a better defender than Luka, so it's kind of tough. It's always gonna be kind of tough for Luka to have a better case than Jokic because he's not really ever gonna have a better record than the Nuggets. And I'm not gonna lie, Jamal Murray and Reeves is not that big of a drop off. When it does become a drop off is when you start comparing Aaron Gordon to whoever, and then Peyton Watson. Maybe I ain't gonna lie, but maybe the Lakers have. Lakers may be able to talk to that rundown of players. I'm gonna keep it being the more I'm thinking about it. So yeah, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough for him to get that. And then the Thunder are gonna win a lot of games. Wemby didn't get MVP last year. They're gonna try to give Wemby an MVP, but I've been saying this for years that they're gonna try to get Luka MVP. So maybe Wemby just don't ever really get that MVP, and then he's in the same situation as Luka right now, where he's getting the MVP thing that if you wanted a lot and they just don't want to give you anymore. He's been getting that since 2022. 2022, he should have won it. He wasn't even in the convo for whatever reason. So the voting, bro, any of these awards that take voting is just tough right now for players, in my opinion. Tyler Kolek, I believe is his name. Coming out the draft, he's a pretty good playmaker. I believe he came out of Marquette. He really did too much for the Knicks. He's shown flashes, I believe, this past season. I would say solid rotation player. Kobe White, I'll probably say high level role player, kind of important for that team. I'm gonna actually put Phylon, probably high-level role player, just to even that out. Put him at the back. I'll probably put the rookies at the back of the tiers. Yeah. Kobe White, I'm not the biggest fan. Not really that good defensively. Not really that good of a playmaker, but he can score. He's not that consistent. That's one of the profiles that I do think the NBA is going away from, in my opinion. When you think about the heroes, think about all those profiles. A lot of those guys got traded. You think about Ja, you think about Trae Young. Those are like the higher end of those guys. The mid-tier, Jordan Poole, Kobe White. A lot of these guys are getting moved. If you're that, even LaMelo, like almost every one of those profiles got traded. Even Luka got traded. Loki, almost every one of those profiles got traded. James Harden, like almost all of those profiles are getting traded, where like you're just really offense. And if you don't give you offense consistently, good luck. Dennis Schroeder. I think Dennis Schroeder at this point in his career, he's more of a solid rotation player. I would probably put Dennis Schroeder probably at the top. Colin Sexton. I'll probably put Colin Sexton like here. Solid rotation. DeJounte Murray actually came back second half of the season, was pretty good. I'll probably put DeJounte Murray here for now. He probably is better than Ja, but I got more respect for Ja. Hopefully that makes sense. Davion Mitchell, high-level role player. I think Davion Mitchell right there with Marcus Smart. I think the thing with Davion Mitchell, I don't think he was as good as a defender. He still was a good defender. He's just undersized. But as a playmaker, he took a leap. And he shot 40% for three at the end of the day. He took a leap as a playmaker. He shot 40% for three while being a really good defender. I still believe he's an elite guard defender. It's just he just didn't play to the standard he could play to. I think this year he's going to be even better as a defender. Now, I don't think he's going to have as a playmaking responsibility. If he can keep that 3-point percentage high, maybe get a little bit more volume, Davion Mitchell could be very, very good for us. I really hope he is. I think he's going to get a lot of wide open shots. I'm not going to lie. It's not like he wasn't taking wide open shots. I won't lie. He was already taking wide open shots. A lot of players in the Heat, people do not try to they're not game planning to guard them. I'm not going to lie. But his ability to also beat people one-on-one is really good because that first step is actually really good because he is undersized. So there's pros and cons to being undersized. 9 times out of 10, if you're undersized in the NBA, you have a good first step. I'm not going to lie. So yeah. Then we have Dame. I think Dame coming back going to be an all-star caliber guy. It's a little bit more questionable for me with him than Kyrie because he's stacking injuries. Like, in terms of year to year. Like, when he was with the Bucks, he was getting injured. You know? Kyrie, he was kind of healthy for the most part when Luka was there. That last year, him and Kyrie was getting hurt. And then Kyrie comes back at the end of that same season when Luka's gone and he has the injury that happens. And then he's out the end of that year and then all of last year. We haven't seen him since. So I'm thinking Kyrie come back. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie. Dame, if I'm being real though, Dame probably is over some of them guys in that top 25. We'll see. I'm gonna keep it here for now. James Harden, top 25. I think James Harden, yeah, man, it's tough to really defend. I'm not a James Harden defender though, so yeah. I think scoring, playmaking, he definitely brings importance to his team. He elevates the bigs on his team. That's why I said when the Clippers traded Zubac, I thought that was a masterful trade because you were not going to get that same level of Zubac anymore. That's why I think people are kind of overrating the Pacers because I don't think Zubac fits on the Pacers, especially if you're talking about replacing Miles Turner. But then, how good of Zubac are you going to get on either side of the floor? So I'm actually interested to see what the Pacers look like. I see a lot of people saying the Pacers are going to be a top 4 team in the East. We will see. The East a lot better than it was 2 years ago this year. It's going to be almost, not even double, 4 times better than it was 2 years ago. I think the East this past year was better than it was that year. So we'll see. We will see. But I will say that season did have pre-Achilles. Low-key, no. Pre-Achilles Tatum alone may make that East better. Because the Celtics was just better. Because they had pre-Achilles Tatum, in my opinion. Tatum coming back from that injury, only playing 20 games, and then not even finishing his first playoff series. You can't even really compare that. So low-key, I take that back. But I do think this upcoming East is definitely better. The past year, probably not. But yeah. This is the dude that got picked by the Hornets, Anderson. I actually liked him in the draft as we got closer, as a playmaker, as a scorer. I just don't think if you're expecting him to beat guys one-on-one, that's not his game. His game is pick and roll. Now the thing is, in college, he was actually pretty efficient. We'll see what he's doing in the league. It's different doing it in the league, though. I will say that it is very much different doing it in the league than it is in college. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm gonna have to say for him, I don't know. Probably solid rotation. I'll probably put him with Ibuka for now. I'll probably put him. I expect more out of him than Ibuka because I think he's gonna have a more clear role on the Hornets because they traded LaMelo. But maybe they plan on playing Kobe White at the point guard. I don't know, but I guess let's keep moving. Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray was actually Jamal had his best season last year. I think he deserves to be All-Star caliber. Will he do that again? I don't expect it. Did he fall off in the playoffs? Yes. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We even seen Jamal be very good last year for a stint of time without Jokic. Now, it wasn't the full time without Jokic because you kind of seen Jokic had to come back a little early because they were starting to fall apart. But that early part when they were on that win streak, Jamal Murray was playing out of his mind. Now, the moment Jamal Murray started to slip and play, that team was struggling. And that's why I'm saying maybe I'm overrating the Nuggets a tad bit. But yeah, I'm going to say All-Star. I forgot bro name. He was at Florida though. Walter Clayton. Walter Clayton Jr. I'm going to probably say solid rotation. I'm not going to lie on him. I'll probably put him right there in front of Sasser. AJ Mitchell, high-level role player. I think I would take AJ Mitchell over everybody but Marcus Smart right now. You could argue him over Marcus Smart because he's a much better scorer, but Marcus Smart is a better defender. At least this past season he was. Marcus Smart had dipped defensively for a couple seasons before this last year, but then he proved everybody that he could still do that if he just locks in to just be a defender. But he was also, by playoff time, he was hitting big shots and giving them consistent points. So yeah, I probably give Marcus Smart that edge. But everybody else, AJ Mitchell's better. He's just better. Cade Cunningham, All-NBA. I think Cade Cunningham is better than Jalen Brunson. If you think Jalen Brunson is better than Cade Cunningham, he just won a ring. I'm not mad at it. I'm sure that based on your criteria, it would make sense for my criteria. I just think Cade is a better playmaker. I think Bronson's a better scorer. I think Cade's a better defender. I think Cade has more impact on his team. Me personally. But neither here nor there. I think Jalen Brunson gonna be in crazy conversations. He just won a ring, regardless. I don't think it's that crazy to say that Jalen Brunson is better than Cade. I think it gets crazy when I start seeing people say Jalen Brunson's top 5. I don't think saying he's over guys like Cade or Ant is crazy. I don't think that's crazy at all. I just personally would rather have Cade than Jalen Brunson. Personally. Dylan Harper. I could make the case that Dylan Harper may be All-Star caliber. I'm not gonna lie. Dylan Harper was the second best player on the team that made the finals. That's facts. You seen it when Wemby went down. The guy that stood it up for the Spurs when they needed it was not De'Aaron Fox. It wasn't Stephon Castle. It was Dylan Harper. Dylan Harper was big time. And this is a guy. This is like, I think Dylan Harper and Castle actually fit very well together because I think Castle is he's not the level defender of, or no, Harper is not the level defender of Castle, and Castle's not the level of ability offensively as Harper. Harper on the ball, playmaking, scoring, feel for the game is nowhere. It's nowhere near the same. I think Castle is more athletic though, but yeah, Harper just brings a whole lot more on the offensive side, in my opinion. But you could say star role player for him too. That's probably more accurate right now, but I think Harper could take a big jump this year. It just comes down to how much does he get, like how much PT does he get? How much PT does he get? Is the coach still like playing around, bro? Like that's something that they really got over there that they can unleash. And that'd be a big difference for their team this year. So we'll see. Gabe Vincent. I'll put Gabe Vincent here, I guess. Bennett Sturts. I actually think Bennett Starks will be a pretty good role player in his rookie year, but I'm gonna put him here. I think he's gonna be probably the more consistent of these three. The thing is, how much does Bennett Starks play on the Thunder? I don't know, but I do think he's better than those two right now. Next we have Igor Dimon. I think last year Igor was actually pretty solid. Wouldn't go too crazy on him. I'll probably put him over everybody besides Dennis Schroeder. I think this year he'll probably be better than that, but it's not for certain. I'm gonna put him here for now. Next, forgot bro name on the Knicks. This is the backup point guard, pretty good defender. Can give you a spark plug game or two. I would probably say solid rotation. I would put him more so in the Jamal Shed, Drew Smith area. Personally. Chris Dunn, ridiculous defender. He wasn't as good defensively. He just wasn't as good overall this past year as he was the year prior. I probably would still go high level role player though. I would probably put Chris Dunn like here. Put Kingston to the back because he's a rookie. Yeah, I probably put him like there. Next we have Anthony Black. I think Anthony Black is another one of those guys that's just waiting to be unleashed. You've seen the flashes offensively this past year. Anthony Black showed some crazy on the ball flashes. The issue with the Magic is Paolo has to have the ball. They play better with Franz, but Anthony Black also needs the ball for him to progress as a player, to develop as a player. But either way, Anthony Black is one of the better defenders in the league. I think Anthony Black is a star role player, personally. I think he is, personally. That's just me. But maybe that one is a little bit more debatable. But I think star role player. I think Castle, Harper, better, but I think he's a star role player. Next, we have Peyton Pritchard. I think Peyton Pritchard is the highest and high-level role player. You can make a case for Peyton Pritchard being a borderline star. I just don't see him in that light, personally. But I do think Peyton Pritchard probably is better than guys like Keontae George right now. I think some Celtics fans would make a case for him to be over Ja right now, DeJounte Murray right now. I don't know if that's that crazy, but I do think Peyton Pritchard brings more from a role player standpoint to the game than those guys, personally. Like, I'm going to be honest, I don't know if Ja could be a role player. It's kind of the same situation I was saying with Acuff. It's like no in between. He's either unplayable, a borderline star, or all-star, or above. It's no in between. There's no role player going on there. Denise Jenkins, he showed some flashes last year, I would say. I'd probably say he's probably around here. Tyrese Halliburton, me personally, I don't think it's stamped that Tyrese Halliburton is a top 15 player. And that may be where it comes down to the Pacers. I may just be underrating Tyrese Halliburton. I think as a clutch player, as a playmaker, as an efficient player, he's very good. He's not a good defender. Is he as bad as like the Trae Youngs, the Jalen Bronsons? No. He can give you possessions on defense. I believe that. I think he's very efficient. And I think that is value. There's value in that. But you've seen it in the finals where there was games where he literally didn't do anything. Like Pascal Siakam for that playoff run, in my opinion, just was very underrated. He was the most consistent player, in my opinion, for the Pacers. When you think about this, the scoring, the defense that he brought, he was consistent with that every game. It was just Tyrese Halliburton would come up with the big time moment in those games, so they was giving him the credit. And this is why I'm saying I feel like a lot of it can be highlights, but I do think a lot of people watch these games. That's why it's really kind of confusing. But I'm gonna be honest, like I said, when it comes to that area, he probably is around about that All-NBA area. Next, we have LaMelo. I think LaMelo is all-star caliber. I don't think he's better than anybody I put so far, though. I would put him here, personally. I would put him here. I'm actually going to move Dame to the top. For now. Honestly, I'm going to move Kyrie down, too. Because they're both coming off injury. I'm going to be consistent with them. I could see them being all-star. I could see them in the top 25. And then we have Darren Peterson. I think Darren Peterson is going to be very good as a rookie. I think he's going to be an all-star caliber guy as a rookie. I think Darren Peterson is going to be he could literally be top 25. The defensive profile that he is as a guard, while also being arguably the best scoring prospect we've seen in years, probably since KD, it's kind of scary. like the ability to play on and off the ball, and then he showed playmaking potential already in the summer league. Like, I'm interested, very, very interested. And even if he's not a good playmaker, the scoring ability with the defense, he's gonna probably be all NBA caliber day one. Is he gonna make it? We'll see. We'll see. But I have All-Star. Io, I think Io is a high-level role player. I would put Io right there behind AJ Mitchell personally. I think Io was very good when he was on the Bulls. He was underrated. He goes to the Timberwolves. I think that was a good move. I think they have a blockade of guards, in my opinion, but I do think Dybantsa being injured will probably force Io to have to be getting more time and stuff like that, so we'll see. Rob Dillingham may be bench. He might be bench, gang. I'm going to actually say that. He's probably bench. Mikal Brown. I think Mikal Brown could be pretty good as a rookie. I'm going to say probably, I think Fleming's defense is probably going to be more, it's probably going to be safe. But yeah. Next, we have Anthony Simons. This signing makes no sense to me for the 76ers. Inconsistent scorer that does nothing else. He's not a good playmaker. He's a horrible defender. But the thing is, he can shoot and he can score, but he's inconsistent at both. But when he has that game where he's doing it, he can go for 40. He can. The thing is, when is he going to get these touches? When is he going to get these chances? So he kind of making him a spot up player. And he probably can do that. Because he's very talented. So I don't know. But I feel like this is a team that needs defenders. They don't really need scoring. That's the thing I don't really get with the 76ers. They don't really need scoring. They got two people that average 28. They got LeBron, and they got one of the best scorers of all time in Embiid. And then you still got VJ. You just picked Phylon, who I really like a lot offensively. I don't really get Anthony Simons pickup. I don't. Now, KCP, that makes some more sense. Dean Wade, that makes some more sense. Anthony Simons, I don't get. I don't. Simons, he wasn't good last year. For the Celtics, he was really bad. The Celtics was begging to trade him. He had a very good game or two, but for the most part, he was really bad. Like I said, he's very inconsistent. And I think he can kind of be annoying because you see the talent, but he doesn't do any of it at a consistent level. I would probably say, though, Steele, I'd probably put him right there with, I'd probably put him like here. Probably put him right there because I think Scottie Pippen Jr. and everybody else above him probably better. Probably better. I'll probably chat a little bit on this. Put him here. Put him here. That's probably more accurate. And probably put him here. That's probably more like it, but we got to tweak it one more. I'll probably say here. And yeah, now we talking about it. Yeah, Miles McBride, Sheed, how you say it? Then it's Drew Smith, Igor. Yeah. All right. Then we have Curry. Curry's all NBA. I'm not mad at anybody that says Bronson, Cade better than Curry. I'm not mad at that at all. I'll be honest. I do think they're in better situations than Curry, and the Warriors are not doing anything to improve the situation. We'll see what happens when Jimmy comes off an injury. I really don't know how to compare Curry and Tyrese Halliburton. I'll say, for now, he's all NBA. I'm looking at Jalen Duren McDowell. He's all NBA. He's all NBA. I'm going to put him here. I'll put him behind Tyrese Halliburton for now. Next, we have the rookie from Dallas. I think he's going to be more of a role player. I'll probably put him at the back. I think as a playmaker, he's going to be pretty important for Dallas because they have nothing playmaking-wise. But I definitely had these other guys over him in my draft board, so I'm going to stay consistent there. Cass, I actually like Cass a lot. I thought Cass was another Pelly for us, but it's kind of similar to what the Spurs have with Castle and Harper. Cass is the better offensive player of the two. Pelly is the better defensive player of the two. The difference I would say is I think Pelly was always going to be the better player of the two. I think Cass has more potential though. It's just not likely for him to reach that potential with the teams and the situations he's on from the Heat and the Bucks. But we'll see. Maybe it's more likely on the Bucks. But yeah, I think that those guys, I think Cass and Pelly are more high level role players. I think Dylan Harper and Cass are more star role players, where those are championship role players, you know, where you have like the Andrew Wiggins with the Warriors, where people are making cases for him to win the Finals MVP, and you have this past season with OG Anunoby to win the Finals MVP, you know, type role players. Those are the type of role players I'm saying for star role player, if that makes sense. Yeah, I don't think Cass is that right now, but I do think Cass is over a lot of these guys in high level role play. I'll put Cass over Kobe White. Chris Dunn is tough because Chris Dunn's a clear better defender, but Cass has more to his overall game. I think, bro, Cass is over Davion Mitchell. He's a better player than Davion Mitchell. I would put him here. I think Cass is better than Davion Mitchell, personally. I do. I think when we played with Cass compared to Davion Mitchell, I liked our play. I liked our style of play a lot better because he's a much better playmaker. He's a much better shooter. And he's still a good defender, and he has size. The size aspect. And he was a lot better of a defender than I expected him to be. So I think that Cass is actually a very, very interesting player. Jordan Clarkson. I think on the Knicks it works. I don't think he's that good. He's kind of similar to Anthony Simons, in my opinion. I would put him right there with like the Marcus Sassers and stuff like that of the world. Just won a championship, so I give him his credit. Josh Giddey. Whoa. Josh Giddey, though. Where we going with you? Josh Giddey, I would probably say Josh Giddey is borderline star, probably. He probably is borderline star. I'd probably put Josh Giddey like here. I think what he brings to the table with his size from a rebounding standpoint, playmaking standpoint, efficiency standpoint, pretty underrated. It's actually pretty underrated. And he stays healthy. And he's not a bad defender. The big issue with him, with the Thunder, was this is a guy that needs the ball. He's not an off-the-ball player. But he can play off the ball if he's involved. On the Thunder, they was kind of trying to spot him up. And you've seen times like the year before Chet came back where he's playing off the ball, but he was involved in the offense. They were doing like pick and rolls with him and Shai in a lot of situations where Shai would get double teamed, and that was the way for them to break the double team for a lot of them. And it worked very well. But now they don't really have the facilities to do that for Shai. And I do think that is a flaw, that they don't really have that extra playmaker that can make those decisions off of Shai when they get those 4-on-3s. So I think AJ Mitchell did a very good job of that in the playoffs against the Lakers, but the Lakers defense is terrible. And then we have, I forgot his name on the Pelicans. He was just their first round pick last year. I don't know. I'm going to say he's probably more so solid. I actually liked him as a rookie, though. He definitely showed flashes. Kobe White may need to come down. All these may come down, actually. I think Fred VanVleet is probably the best to put there, because then I can put him around Igor Dimmons. I think he was better than Igor Dimmons as a rookie, and I put him here. I think that's fair. Ryan Rollins was a high-level role player. I think Ryan Rollins last year, I feel like I didn't watch him enough. I think he was underrated, but I feel like he kind of fell off a little bit. But maybe I'm wrong. Bucks fans would know more than me. Maybe I'm wrong. I feel like I should put him behind Davion, but maybe he's just over Cass, right behind Io, maybe even over Io. You know, I feel like Bucks fans may say he's like in that AJ Marcus Smart conversation. I just don't see that. I know he's not over Io. It's just, how low does he go? I don't know. Then we have Topic. I'm happy that he was able to be back. It's actually pretty cool to see. But yeah, he hasn't looked the greatest in his time in the NBA so far. He was a guy that was supposed to be very, very highly touted, and he kind of fell in the draft to the Thunder. The situation that's happened for him is just very unfortunate. But I will probably say for Topic, that's tough. I'm not gonna lie though, Serbia's starting to get a little solid team though. From Topic to Jokic, I think they had another one recently that came out. And that next Serbia team may be kind of solid, bro. That's all I'm saying. I have no clue. I have no clue where to put this brother. I'm gonna put him with the rookies because he hasn't really played enough. He just haven't really played enough. I'm gonna put him with the rookies. Tyrese Maxey. Tyrese Maxey's top 25. He made All NBA last year, but I'm not gonna lie. Tyrese Maxey is another one of those players that, like, if Tyrese Maxey is top 15 players in the league, yeah, bro, the league's kind of cooked, man. It's kind of cooked, man. And I don't know, man. I've always been a big Maxey fan, but this past year, I don't know, man. He's just starting to get too overrated, and I'm not pushing back on it, on the praise. I'm just being genuinely real about it. It's just, I don't think he's that. He's top 25 for sure, though. But another reason why I think Kyrie and Dame may still be top 25 is because Tyrese Maxey is top 25. He averaged a crazy amount, but he did get worse almost every month of the season this past year. That is just reality. And then come playoff time, he's pretty inconsistent. So I don't know. Tyrese Maxey, I don't know what to expect out of Tyrese Maxey this year with Jaylen Brown, LeBron coming to the team, and you also still got Fallon that want the ball. I don't know what happens with this situation, if I'm honest. But clearly a top 25 player, I guess, right now. TJ McConnell. I don't know. By the way, I don't know if I would actually have Maxey top 25. Think about it, because if I actually do sit down and go through 25 players, like the full NBA, which is what we're going to end this off with, I don't know if he ends in that top 25. I don't know. But yeah, TJ McConnell. I love TJ McConnell. I don't know if he was a high-level role player last year. He got his chance to really showcase. They were tanking, I will say that, but he didn't really do much with that opportunity. I would probably say TJ McConnell is like right here behind Chris Dunn. And then we have Shai. We know where Shai goes. He goes at the top of the mountain in that best in the world, and he has a genuine case as the best player in the world right now. And that would be my tier list of the point guards. We have two best in the world. We have a couple All NBAs. We have one top 25. We have a couple All Stars, a couple star role players, a couple borderline stars, a couple high level role players, a lot of solid rotation players, and 2 bench players. But yeah, that's my point guard tier list. We're gonna do the same thing for shooting guards. I don't know if it's gonna be as many players. I probably use the OG tier list and just add the rookies, to be honest. But I probably try to add some players on there too, but it's just tough to do that. It takes so long because there's so many players on there, and there's so many players I took off of it. And when I'm trying to navigate putting the players on, it just takes forever. But yeah, we'll get around to doing that. So just make sure y'all showing the support by liking the videos. Make sure y'all show the support by subscribing if you're new. Without further ado, it's your boy Fitz. I'm out of here.
Tell them to bring me my money. Yeah!